Happy Tuesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. And to any Circle K Arizona location where you get any size polar pop or frosted for just 79 cents now through September 3rd. I'm your host, Dr. Eggman. Yep, there it is. Got Dr. Danish to my left, and he's got to be a food character.
A food character.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid of whatever's
needs to have
next.
a PhD in food, in some type of food.
String cheese boy?
No, he's doctor.
Oh, he's doctor?
Dr. String Cheese Boy?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to be called?
I don't know.
Pick one, damn it.
What'd you have for lunch today?
I haven't had lunch yet today.
What'd you have for breakfast today?
Gosh.
I had oatmeal for breakfast.
Dr. Oatmeal.
Dr. Oatmeal.
Over there.
Dr.
Can,
Oat.
can we shorten it?
Dr. Oats?
Dr. Oats? Wow.
Dr. Oats.
Dr. Oats goes
Professor Oats.
Professor Oats. There it
Professor
is. There it is. We got DJ Danielle behind the Mac making all.
Dr. DJ Coffee Cake Danielle.
There
There it
Dr.
is. She's
Danielle.
making all the magic happen, guys. Just a solid. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast.
Before we start, shout out Danielle's brother for the coffee cake.
Delicious.
I
Slap.
haven't had any yet. It looks good though.
Yeah.
Looks really,
Amazing.
really good. Guys, I'm angry.
Yeah, I am too.
Grrr.
Professor Oats.
Professor Oats is angry for sure.
Why are we angry? Why are we angry?
Well, because ASU shockingly getting disrespected yet again.
It's actually crazy. Like I knew when the poll was gonna come out that they weren't gonna be in the upper echelon. They weren't gonna probably be a mid-tier team. But
Yeah.
dead last to me feels ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If you don't know what we're talking about, the Big 12 Preseason Media Poll came out, and these were the results. Had Utah at number 1, Kansas State at number 2, Oklahoma State at 3, Kansas at 4, the Arizona Wildcats at 5, Iowa State at 6, West Virginia at 7, UCF at 8, Texas Tech at 9, TCU at 10, CU at 11, Baylor at 12, BYU at 13, Cincinnati at 14, Houston at 15, and Arizona State at 16.
You know, I got like two parts of my brain pulling at me, right? There's the part of me that's not surprised at all because I don't think people truly give enough credit to what's going on here or are tuned in enough to understand that they're going to be a better team next year. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm not super shocked that they go last. But then you also look at programs like a Cincinnati and a Houston, and it's like, well, if you are in the media and you are being aware of the Big 12, like you should be aware of this. And like it is disrespectful. They are not the worst team in the Big 12. They're not.
I am not shocked, if I'm being honest. I'm not shocked that they were picked last. This is a team that went 3-9 last year, and the other two teams that went 3-9 in the Big 12, Baylor and Cincinnati. Both of those teams were in the Big 12 last year. ASU is a 3-9 team that is entering a new conference that the media that voted on this doesn't know much about. They know that Kenny Dillingham is in his second year as a head coach. Yeah, there's a couple first-year head coaches, but this situation at ASU hasn't been very kind to him. You look at the from a national perspective, you see the amount of transfers. They lost their best offensive player in Elijah Badger, and they're amidst the fallout of an NCAA investigation. And what we know is that the NCAA investigation really shouldn't affect them that much.
Right.
But you see that from the outside, and that's what you assume is they're still feeling the effects of it. And yes, they are, but not to the extent that many people think. I'm not shocked by any means that this team was picked to finish 16th. It's wrong. Right? Like they're not going to be the worst team in this conference. I can guarantee you that. But I'm not crazily shocked. Plus, I don't know how much this factors into it. They have probably the hardest schedule in the Big 12.
It is a really hard schedule.
They just have again, I understand picking them to be 13, 14, but dead last behind Houston and Cincinnati kind of blows my mind. Because even if you're not out at practices and you just look at the roster, This is a talented roster. There is certainly a lot of potential just based off of what guys did at the high school ranks before transferring to Arizona State. You look at the guys last season that are set to step up in big-time roles. Yes, this team lost BJ Green. I understand that. But they kept, retained, and bulked up Prince Dorba, a dude who was tied for the most sacks on the team with a guy like BJ Green. People don't talk about Clayton Smith, right? Transferring from Oklahoma just a couple years ago, who was a former 5-star edge rusher, who looks even bigger, faster, and better. The transfers, I think, in the linebacker room and in the secondary have been disrespected on a national basis. And then offensively, I understand the question marks, right? I'm interested to get to Vegas for Big 12 Media Day and talk to some of the folks that are responsible, I guess, for having Arizona State dead last in this poll, and just to get a gauge as to why, right? Is it all about the coach, or not the coaching situation? Is it about the quarterback situation? Is it about the fact that they lost Elijah Badger? Is it because some of these transfers you haven't necessarily seen them on a big stage? Like, I'm trying to figure out why they're 16, and the only reason that I can come up to genuinely is the media, the national media, Big 12 media, whatever, don't believe in the quarterbacks at Arizona State.
I do think the quarterbacks are a really big part of the conversation. And when I was doing research for our own Big 12 power rankings that we did yesterday, which, if you missed that, go ahead and check that out as well. But a lot of mentioning of uncertainty in the quarterback room. And I know that we like a guy like Trenton Bourguet, if it is him, or Sam Leavitt, who is most likely to be every time, man, who is most likely to be starting, or even somebody like Jeff Sims and everything like that too. But if I was not here and I was not super familiar with this team, I would also have doubts and questions about the quarterback situation.
Plus, I think if you look at let's be honest, nobody was watching Arizona State football last year.
No.
If you look at if you box score watch and you look at the game logs and you look at those games, you see they played 4 different quarterbacks and they all were terrible. And you wonder what the common denominator is to that. And some people that don't know ball might say they didn't have much talent around them, and they didn't have, the quarterbacks weren't talented enough. But the clear obvious reason is the offensive line was unprecedentedly, unheard ofly injured.
Yeah, people outside of here do not understand how battered down this roster was last year.
Yeah.
And how, like you said, Totri, they lost Elijah Badger. They've lost Jaden Rashada. They lost a lot of talented people for sure. They've also brought in and made this roster better than it was.
This roster is better than it was at the start.
In theory, obviously, we haven't seen anything.
No, not in theory. I think theory. It is 100% better than roster. It was. At the end of last season, this roster is better.
And none of us are sitting up here saying college football playoffs, right?
No.
But 16 is, I think the perfect way to sum it up is not surprising in the least, but not accurate either.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor is the quarterback situation as to why I think they were picked last. Because you look at the other teams at the bottom of the conference, Cincinnati has their quarterback coming back, and Baylor got that transfer from Toledo, who
DeQuan Finn.
Yeah, was I think the MAC player of the year last
year.
Yeah,
he was really good.
I do like him.
Yeah, so do I. So obviously. MAC, we love, especially Toledo.
Some action, no.
That's a huge reason why, and rightfully so. We have no idea how this quarterback competition is going to go. We have no idea who the starting quarterback is going to be at this point. I mean, I think we all agree that right now, if we had to trot somebody out there, it would probably be Leavitt, but we're not sure. And the only thing you can do is shut up and prove them wrong. And I think that's what ASU is going to be able to do this year.
Well, I mean, you can just take it based off of how they reacted, just asking some players predict their EA rating, right? Or the team rating. They're like, you know what, we're probably going to be disrespected, but by the end of the year, that's going to change. And if you don't think that they're looking at this preseason poll and going, okay, cool, bet. Now every time they go into a game, we're not supposed to win. We're the worst team in the Big 12. Let's go and prove them wrong. And I have no doubt that Kenny and his staff and the type of players that he's brought on this roster are not going to take that lightly.
Yeah, and I also think the defense thing is something that we can talk about, but we can get to that later. Totri, what was you going to say?
I just think, again, part of this is beyond the roster too, right? Is I think there are people that are still unfamiliar with what Kenny Dillingham is as a head coach, his personality, his style of coaching, him being a player's coach, but also being a builder, a dude who is trying to build a program that's honestly worse than the ground up. Like you're starting below the ground from what Herm gave you.
You're digging out and throwing away all the skeletons.
Literally. And he's
burial grounds.
Still the youngest or second youngest head coach in all of college football at this point. So like I get that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, it doesn't take a lot to just glance at this roster versus what it was last season and see that it is 100% better. And again, we're not necessarily biased. That's not the right word because I don't think I'm biased. We all had Arizona State in the bottom third of this conference in our power rankings. But because we've been to practices, because we've talked to these players and these coaches,
closer proximity.
Like we're telling you now.
Front runner also brings up a good point. They predicted West Virginia to be last year.
Yeah.
And they finished very high. They went 9-4.
Well, and I think
that really good season.
And obviously, we've talked about kind of how wonky West Virginia's season was and how they probably won a lot of games they shouldn't have won statistically. And that could be the type of team that ASU is this year.
That's kind of what I feel like they're going to be.
Right. And so they're
going to be in a lot of weird games.
And part of the reason it's a different coaching situation in West Virginia, but their coach was on the hot seat going into last year.
Yeah.
Right. And then he turns around and it's like, hey, look at what we did and how much momentum we can carry off of that. ASU, and especially with the way that they're coached and their mindset, they feel like they fit that mold of we might go in against a team that's 20-point favorites. And it's coming down to the last 2 minutes. We might steal something.
You don't give a shit.
Well, think of the Washington game last year. And that's why I bring up the defense. Is I think this defense is still really slept on. That you turned over offensive coordinators. That's probably another issue with voters. But you kept your defensive coordinator, and that defensive coordinator was very good. B. Ward decord. So that's an exciting thing to look at as well. I do think to temper the expectations a little bit and to be like this team is not a bottom feeder in the Big 12. We have to address the wide receiver room is probably the biggest X factor. I mean, aside from the quarterback, because you did lose your top asset at wide receiver, and you really got to hope that Jordyn Tyson or someone alike can get out there. But to play devil's advocate with myself, Jake Smith is somebody that nobody knows about, and understandably so. Like he hasn't played,
and Jordyn Tyson didn't play last year.
Yeah, and we don't even know what to expect of him, though. So I can't even imagine what.
And again, we've seen practices, so it's completely different. But I mean, the wide receiver room, I think there's a lot of talent there. I think the offensive line and defensive line, the trenches for me is where Arizona State's season is probably gonna lie. I think it's obviously a lot of people want to talk about the quarterback situation, and rightfully so. But if this offensive line improves, if this defensive line gets better from where they were at last season. If Clayton Smith and Prince Dorba off the edge are as good as expected, if Jamon Tapp comes in, the transfer edge rusher from Texas, and he has a solid season, like this defense and up front offensively, what Arroyo and Kenny want to do, like if those units are able to actually surprise people, then this is an Arizona State team that certainly can have a season like West Virginia did last year, because what do they want to do, right? Going back to the core principles of a Kenny Dillingham offense, right, with Marcus Arroyo calling the plays, and then Brian Ward defensively. Brian Ward defensively wants to create chaos. Well, how do you do that? You get pressure up front. If the defensive line can do that, this linebacking group and that secondary, I think, are easily talented enough to take advantage. And then offensively, Kenny wants to run the fuck out of the football just like he did at Florida State, just like they did at Oregon, just like they did at Auburn, like everywhere else, right? So if they're able to do that, it opens up the play action, which makes life a hell of a lot easier for whichever quarterback you have back there.
As long as the offensive line can protect, and that goes back to your point of the trenches are where this team is going to win and lose.
And I mean that's the case for like every Big 12 team. If any team in that power ranking, hell, even Kansas State, Utah, Arizona, if they have the amount of injuries to their offensive line that Arizona State had last year, they're going to wildly underperform based off of expectations. That's just the way that it is. And obviously, you don't know what's going to happen, but you would really hope that type of severe injury luck doesn't happen 2 years in a row, considering it hadn't happened before. And yeah, like this is an offense, again, that a lot of Big 12 people, not only are they not familiar with Arizona State because of just kind of where they are as a program nationally right now, but also, like, a different conference before. They probably don't understand just how much is going to go through Cam Skattebo in that running back room, more so than whoever is under center. They're obviously going to use their quarterback. They're going to have to, but it's not going to be relied upon like maybe some of these other teams are.
I don't know. It just blows my mind. 16. 16 blows
Does
my
it
mind.
blow your
16
mind?
blows my mind. Yeah, absolutely. I think Cincinnati and Houston are clearly two of the worst teams in this conference. Again, that's just by roster makeup. You look at what they did last season, it's very, very similar to what Arizona State did in a much, much better Pac-12 last season than the Big 12 was. Again, playing teams like USC, Oregon, Washington, Utah,
the best
Arizona,
team in EA college football, Colorado.
Like Arizona State finished 3-9 last season and had to play 5 top 15 teams throughout the year,
and almost took away a college football playoff spot from Washington.
But they're and the roster got better, right? We're
and
talking about the roster got better.
It's the second year of Kenny, and you're not going to have a freaking bowl ban thrown on the team before the season.
But don't worry, they're going to be the worst team in the Big 12.
I mean, listen,
just logically think about that.
No,
right?
but I will never be. I will never be surprised that this school will get disrespected. I won't be. I'll be upset, but I'll never be surprised.
And I'm still not shocked at all.
Dead last. Doesn't surprise you.
No.
I just think they don't. I just don't think that they understand. I just don't think they do.
Yeah, they don't deserve it. But
and there's not. And it's not like with ASU basketball. And you look at they've got 2 5-star freshmen coming in, and it's like a lot more tangible to look at that roster and say, wow, look how much better they got. There's so much more nuance when it comes to transfers in football and revamping a roster and so many different positions and guys who haven't played the year before, who have eligibility problems and everything like that. There's so much unknowns on here, even for us who are super close to the situation, right? We're not admitting that we know exactly how Jake Smith is going to play, exactly how Jordyn Tyson's going to play, who's going to be starting at quarterback. We don't know these things, right? We can give informed and educated predictions and guesses, and even in the Die Hard Discord sometimes share that information that is true. But imagine somebody who lives in Cincinnati. You think they have any idea what's going on here at all? Or what Kenny Dillingham is like as a coach? Or what the culture has completely changed into over the last 365 days? They have no idea.
I mean, they should, right? If you're in Cincinnati, you lost one of your interior defensive lineman in Justin Watley, who transferred from Cincinnati to Arizona State. That's of notice. Alton McCaskill, who blew up as a freshman running back at Houston. Obviously, he was at Colorado last season. Guess what? He's at Arizona State. Yeah. Almost came to Arizona State the first time he entered the portal.
Yeah. If he was at Colorado, people would be talking about him.
Yeah. So it's just again, those are little things.
I want to play a game.
Let's play
a game of receipts.
I love games.
And so we're gonna keep these receipts. These are 4 Big 12 power rankings from different sources. We're gonna start with CBS, who also has ASU at 16.
Interesting.
This was, let me get the exact date on this. This was May 10th from friend of the program, Shayon, who's been on our show before. May 10th, 2024. He says, Kenny Dillingham has brought immense energy and excitement to the program, but the results were wildly inconsistent as the Sun Devils slogged through injuries. True.
Yeah.
Adding more complication, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks who started games last season transferred, which is that a bad thing?
No, it's actually a good thing.
Leaving only returner Trenton Bourget and inconsistent transfers Jeff Sims and Sam Levitt on the roster. Dillingham is steadily increasing talent level, but if none of the quarterbacks hit, it could be a long year in Tempe.
So talking about the quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think this is a tempered one.
That doesn't sound like a description of the worst team in the Big 12.
What does it say about who's 15 on that list?
15 is Houston.
Okay, what does it say about Houston?
Former Cougars coach Dana Holgerson had a massive contract, but leaders at the school were so disturbed by his recruiting failures, including 0 top 50 classes despite selling the Big 12, that they decided to make a change. Willie Fritz is a miracle worker and should eventually win games at Houston, but the roster is nowhere near ready. A 4-8 initial campaign when he arrived at Tulane could be instructive as Fritz installs a new approach.
Okay.
So that's CBS. We'll move on to 247. Who has ASU at 14, only above Cincinnati and Houston. They say, Arizona State lost touted quarterback prospect Jaden Rashad to Georgia through this portal this spring. However, transfer newcomer Sam Levitt from Michigan State impressed enough to emerge as a likely starter in the 2024. If the 2024 season started now, the Sun Devils could still add another option to increase competition. Second-year coach, this was way before. Second-year coach before Jeff Sims, I think. Second-year coach Kenny Dillingham has his work cut out for him as he tries to clean up the mess left by previous leadership under Herm Edwards. On-field results as a new member of the Big 12 might not show the progress being made in Tempe this season. So I think an overall optimistic view for the future, but right now this team is just not ready, is the overall thinking of that one. But again, writing about how the Herm Edwards stuff and the quarterback thing, just as we suspected. This one comes from College Football Network, who has ASU at 16 as well. Yes, Arizona State lost Jaden Rashada to Georgia, but Michigan transfer Sam Leavitt has taken the pole position for the starting quarterback job. While the Sun Devils are on the rise in year 2 of Kenny Dillingham's tenure, the move to the Big 12 could stunt their growth. Herm Edwards tied the program's hands behind its back, and Dillingham is dealing with the fallout the best it can. Just what I said before we started reading these. It is quarterback. It is Kenny Dillingham is moving in the right direction, but they're moving in the Big 12, and it is Herm Edwards fallout.
It's lazy.
I'm curious though, when like people are bringing up, and this is again something I'm really interested to ask Big 12 media when we get to media day, is when people like talk about the Herm and the fallout of that, are they like specifically talking about the consequences, like the scholarship losses and that type of recruiting?
I think a lot of it,
or just the image.
A lot of it is culture, and the last 2 years have been hard because of that. So they're feeling the effects.
But
of
it's
the
gone. Like it is literally closed shut.
Well,
now.
yes, and no, because like the recruiting implications and the recruiting violations led to a lesser recruiting class in the past 2 years. So those guys that were here because of Herm are now gone, and you're feeling the effects of that still. I have one more to read. This is from The Athletic. They have ASU at 15. Finally, somebody mentions Cam Skattebo. The Sun Devils, still reeling from the Herm Edwards experience gone awry, have a major unknown
fuck Herm Edwards.
at quarterback. They could go with Michigan State transfer Sam Leavitt, or recently added Jeff Sims, who struggled at Nebraska last season and is now at his third school. This is the same team that shuffled through 4 different quarterbacks and even had Skattebo attempt 15 passes. Head coach Kenny Dillingham seems to have a workman-like rebuild in place and support behind him, but patience will be key in Tempe. This could take a while. So I think it's safe to say the overall view on ASU is they're just not quite ready, but people think that he has the right blueprint. So at least they have that going for them. Look, I think they're on a fast track, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. I've also spoke at lengths about what I think about this quarterback situation and how I don't think that people like are putting enough stock into the potential both of these guys have. And the thing we've beat to death, the thing that if you just looked at Kenny Dillingham's tenure, you'd understand this dude knows how to get the most out of his quarterbacks, and he knows how to get the most out of his quarterbacks that have struggled with consistency.
Yeah.
And what do you have? You have 2 high upside guys that struggled with consistency.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And again, you look at Bo Nix, you look at Jordan Travis, you look at Brady White at Memphis, who's now a part of the ASU coaching staff.
Yep.
All of those guys went on to have just remarkable tail ends of their collegiate career as soon as Kenny Dillingham got involved. So whether that be a Jeff Sims, a Sam Leavitt, even a Trenton Bourguet, just moving on with the future of Arizona State, I think the quarterback situation, I understand, again, like trying to zoom out and take my perspective away from it. I can see that, and I feel that 100%. Right, you don't necessarily know what you're getting from the quarterbacks, but as people who have been out there and watched the practice, like we can attest to at least Sam Leavitt and what he's been capable of, just in terms of commanding the offense, in terms of his deep ball.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Right, obviously fall camp is a few weeks away, and we'll see what Sims looks like, what McCaskill looks like, what some of the other additions to the defense, the wide receiver room look like. But again, 16 to me just...
Yeah. And listen, like, I understand the hesitancy with the quarterback room. I think that is completely fair criticism from anywhere, right? But to me, that's what stops them from going, like, to that middle to high tier, right? But that's not, like, that is a ceiling raiser. The floor's been raised with everything around. And that's why it's like, you can't just talk about the quarterback. You can't. That's not the end all be all. Unless you have a quarterback that's going to go in the first round of the NFL draft, like your quarterback is really as good as your complementing pieces. And there are better complementing pieces minus Elijah Badger this year, and in one of the best running backs in the country in Cam Skattebo, and a revamped offensive line, plus wide receiver weapons that can be good. We don't know for sure. We haven't seen them play in a game in either some time or ever. And so I get the hesitation with it, but it's just so freaking lazy to be like Herm Edwards quarterback 16.
Yeah, it does feel like really
like there's so much more to a team than that.
Apparently not. The majority of media seems to disagree, at least when it comes to the Big 12. Look, we're going to continue talking about some Arizona State disrespect, because it wasn't just the overall ranking of the team, some disrespect in the overall Big 12 preseason media team that we'll get to here in a sec. But I want to tell you about something that we respect every single day, and that's that sign right there. That's that Studio K
Big
sign
Daddy K.
from
give it a little
Circle
tap.
K, guys. They're trying to help you save money every single day with Inner Circle. It's their new free membership program.
I thought you were gonna smack it like play like a champion.
I don't know how sturdy it is on
That's
there. I
fair.
don't want to knock it down.
That's fair. Look, save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and then save 3 cents per gallon every single day after that. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle is going to help you get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents now through September 3rd at any Arizona location. Super easy to find. Find it in the app under Inner Circle and offers. Not only do they have great offers on gas, but they got a ton of snacks, sweet treats, and more over at Circle K. And you know they have a ton of Arizona locations, probably one on every other corner. Guys, join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
ASU needs a quarterback or a football basketball player with the last name of Snow or Ice or something, so he can be Polar Pop.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Polar Poppy.
What's the first name?
My God.
What's the first name?
I don't know.
Create a player. Go.
Eric Snow should have been called Polar Pop.
Eric Snow. Yeah.
Underrated player. Made all defensive teams.
Yeah. Good guard.
Representing for the Erics out there.
Who else was on that Cavs team?
Oh, the Cavs team? Larry Hughes.
No.
Is that Larry Hughes?
No, Larry Hughes. Was he ever on the Cavs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Cavs.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I'm thinking
year are we
of
talking about
Larry
here?
Sanders. Again.
Yeah, we're still on Larry
Okay.
Sanders.
What
time.
year are we talking here?
This is like what, like
Two-
06, 07
Yeah,
bronze?
I'll
Was
look up the roster.
Ilgauskas on that team?
No.
Yeah.
Or was he later?
I think he was a little
Delonte
later.
West?
Delonte West. I
Delonte
think,
West was
yeah.
definitely on that team. Mo
Williams.
was it Mo Williams or was it Mo something else?
I think Mo Williams might have been a little bit later. He was on the Cavs, though. Well, while Shane's doing a deep dive into the mid-2000s Cavaliers, I'm going to tell you guys about a place that is near and dear to my heart. And that is a place where patio season is year-long because patio season is a state of mind.
You sound like you're about to cry right now, dude.
You don't have to be.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to be on a patio
okay,
to be in the patio state of mind. Over with our friends at Illegal Pete's. I'm going to get this out of the way. Strongest margarita in Arizona. Absolutely delicious. You want to go check it out absolutely right now. But not only do they have those, they have custom cocktails and any kind of beer that you want. Plus, a menu that will make your mouth water, from bowls, tacos, salads, burritos, nachos, that piping hot queso. Lots of people are saying, hey, get that extra potato in there in your burrito. Make sure you get double corn in your bowls. It seems like everybody is always like, I just need more.
These are what the streets tell you.
These are what the streets are telling me.
Yeah.
This is what PHNX is telling me. This is what I am telling you.
Streets don't lie.
They don't lie about Illegal Pete's. And if you want that Arizona's strongest margarita for a penny, or you want to draft beer for a penny, all you got to do is check in with their legendary sound check deal. Bring in a ticket stub from any ticketed event and get that beer or margarita for a penny. Illegal Pete's wants to celebrate with you, whether it's a pregame or postgame party. They got you covered for all your game day needs. You must purchase an adult entree, which you're going to want to do if you're there anyway, to redeem Illegal Pete's sound check deal. It's Illegal Pete's, your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, beer, and Eric Snow.
Yeah.
Apparently, everybody in the chat thinks you need a nap.
I am pretty tired.
Yeah.
I am pretty tired.
Drew Gooden, Larry Hughes, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, obviously LeBron, and Sasha Pavlovich. Anybody?
Oh.
Anderson Varejao. Mike Wilkes.
Verjao was great.
Verjao was real fun.
Verjao getting posterized.
Yeah, by D-Wade. That's
Yeah.
the nastiest dunk ever. Anyway,
That was the nastiest dunk ever, you think?
it's one of the
It's
nastiest
one
dunks
of
ever.
for sure.
Okay.
I would say the Pippen on Ewing is probably my favorite.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the Big 12 preseason media team. So, no Arizona State Sun Devils.
What?
Offensively or defensively. Some notable names.
We predicted
on
this though,
That, yeah.
and we agree with it. I would say.
Yeah, I would say outside of Leaf, I think Leaf should have been on the list. But that's probably the only ASU player that I would say deserves to be on the preseason list.
Yeah.
I could certainly see players at the end of the season making that list. But some notable offensive players coming from the Pac-12, obviously, to the Big 12. T-Mac is on that list from Arizona. No Noah Fafita. Shedeur Sanders getting the nod over at CU instead of Fafita. And really, Jalen Daniels, any of the other quarterbacks in this conference. Travis Hunter, defensively, they have him listed only as a defensive back on the all Big 12 team. BJ Green, former Arizona State Sun Devil, now at CU, also
that hurts.
on this list as a defensive player.
I keep forgetting that he's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just kind of hit me again. That sucks.
We get a Brent Kuithe sighting as well. Keithy, I think it's actually pronounced.
He's a badass.
Keithy didn't play last year also.
He's a good
Keithy got hurt
He's a
in
good
the-
tight end, though.
in the ASU game
Yeah.
when it was here. Yeah, so he's really good. A lot of Oak State guys on this team.
Also, Oak State in the poll finishing 2 or 3. I think they had them at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ollie Gordon and Brent Presley are elite. Ollie Gordon just got into some trouble today.
Blood.
Yeah, it's
So-
tough. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, so be careful on that. But two
The
offensive
old blood
linemen.
skirt.
Relax. The two offensive linemen from Oak State surprised me a little bit too. And not that I don't think they deserve it. I didn't know that you had it like that.
I didn't know.
There's a lot
Hold
of Oklahoma State.
You're live.
Is it Jalen?
Just say hi to everybody, Jalen.
Hi guys.
All right,
Love y'all.
I'll call you later.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Putting y'all at 16 is kind of crazy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But you putting us at 9 is crazy. too.
What are you saying? Just me? You see where these two guys put you?
No.
Yeah.
Totri's a hater though.
Yeah, he is a hater. All right. Later,
See
Jalen.
you, man.
Peace.
What'd he say?
I don't know.
That's Texas Tech tight end, Jalen Conyers.
Who agrees that ASU is disrespected?
Yeah, should we break that news right there? Just put that on a quote graphic. It's crazy that
Yeah.
ASU is
Yeah.
last. Oh, man. Jalen Conyers not on the Big 12 team either. Not on the all-conference team.
Yeah,
Certainly a player I think that could make that list.
definitely.
For you guys, I know, Shane, you kind of alluded to it. Nope, you didn't expect any players at all? Not even Leaf to be on this list?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know enough about offensive linemen in the Big 12 yet, so I don't know
Just
how
not
good
grinding the tape hard enough?
Dalton Cooper is.
Yeah.
Or
The
even
Coop man.
or even if they
D-Coop? Yeah.
go by that position. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. What about you, Eric?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same mindset to when it comes to the preseason polls, where I expect absolutely zero respect for Arizona State.
Yeah.
I do think Leaf was going to be the guy if there was one, especially just because running back is so stacked. But I'm not shocked or surprised at all. Like this school will not get respect until it's like already earned, and then it's going to come a little bit later.
Until it takes it. You got to
Yeah.
take respect.
Eric is saying no left off for sure. I put Jalen ahead of Fafita as well. I put
Jalen Daniels?
Yeah.
That's tough simply because, I mean, we saw just a phenomenal season from Noah Fifita last year.
Yeah,
I
he
think
was-
Jalen Daniels can be a better quarterback.
I think it was really awesome to see how good he was as a freshman.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Daniels is probably a better quarterback. I wouldn't put him over Cam Rising though. I
I
wouldn't.
keep forgetting Cam
Cam
Rising is
Rising's probably
playing college
4,
football still.
Fafita's probably 3, and then Rising, and then the Iowa State guy probably. Am I
Rocco.
missing
Yeah.
somebody?
Rocco's got a great name.
Rocco Beck.
Kansas
is such
State
a good
quarterback.
fucking name.
Yeah,
What's his name? Avery.
yeah, something Kansas Statey.
Yeah,
He's a
something
good,
Kansas
he's
Statey.
a get a job guy, isn't he?
Avery?
Yeah. Or am
I
I
don't
am
know. You're
mistaken?
thinking Cam. Cam Rising's a definitely.
Well,
get
yeah,
a
I
job
know
guy.
that. I know that.
At this point, his job is just college football quarterback. Like that's
Good for them,
That's
man.
what he's got. That's 100% what he's got. Avery Johnson, the Kansas State
Avery
quarterback.
That's a former guard.
Yeah, point
turned
guard.
coach
Okay.
turned analyst.
God, you use
Turn
Avery
it.
Johnson in 2K, you can drop dimes.
Yeah.
Dude's passing is insane.
Gosh, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Got 7 dislikes.
Yeah,
What's up
on
with
this
that?
video.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean that's
We're talking
It's
power.
all the Drew Gooden talk.
We're talking power, right? Because they hate Eric Snow. I think. When's the last time Cam Rising played a game? Yeah, I mean, that's we talked about
been
that
a while.
yesterday.
Well, no, didn't he play? He played Caleb Williams in
Ping pong.
Yeah, in ping pong at Pac-12 Media
Yeah.
Day last year.
Yeah.
So
2 years ago when he played, he didn't play at all last year. They thought he was going to come back last year. At some
it was an
point.
ACL.
It was a knee CL. It was
Just all gone.
yeah.
He lost his knee. That's tough for that guy.
ACL, MCL, MPFL, and meniscus.
What the fuck is an MPFL?
It's my
New league?
my poor fucking leg.
My poor- The medial patello
That was good. That was good,
femoral
man. Dr.
ligament.
Danish at it again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys. Look, we're going to continue talking Arizona State, but this is your daily reminder to head to gophnx.com today. Click the little Die Hard tab,
he
and it's
wasn't.
going to tell you
Joseph
everything.
asked if I was a PHNX employee when Cam Rising last played.
No.
No.
No, and Totri was even bordering on.
Was I?
No, you were
No,
here.
I was here for
you
a full
You were
season.
definitely here, but still.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So when you click the little Die Hard tab on the website, Shane,
Yeah.
it's your turn. Tell everybody what they're going to unlock.
Oh
when they
my
become a
God!
PHNX Die Hard.
You get access to Eric's home. You get. I'm just kidding. You get a.
Derek's
you get a,
social
Hit me
number.
up. Yep.
Here, let me pull out my Die Hard membership card. So you know I keep that thing on me.
Keep that thing on you.
Look at this.
That thing.
It's beautiful.
That is
You get
beautiful.
this. You get access to the members only Discord. You get free T-shirt or whatever of your choice from the locker every single year. You're a diehard. All of the amazing written content. Craig's gonna be putting out some more ASU stuff. And yeah, discounts on all events. All that good stuff and more over at gophnx.com/diehard. Everyone's like, wait, yeah, I just looked at your schedule. Holy hell. Yeah, it's rough. It is a rough schedule for ASU this year.
Let's
For
go ahead.
sure.
Let's talk about it then. Let's before we talk about the schedule, any players at the end of the season that you could see making the Big 12 all-conference team?
I think Jalen Tyson.
Whoa.
Jordyn.
Jordyn Tyson,
got it,
excuse
yeah.
me, Jalin Conyers. I think Jordyn Tyson has the opportunity just because we don't know what he looks like, and certainly if you look back at his freshman year at Colorado, you could say, yeah, this is an all-conference player when he's a junior, and obviously that expectation has been tempered a little bit due to the injury. But
we
see.
saw him in the spring.
Yeah, no, I know what we saw.
We saw.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I tried to contain myself. Yeah, I mean, Scat always has an opportunity if this running back conference is really good.
If Ollie
though.
Gordon continues to get in trouble,
Uh,
can't be on the field, he's in jail.
Yeah.
obviously Leaf, and yeah, defensively, I mean, we know what Cole Martin can do. The corner is just such a hard position to sneak into because I think Travis Hunter, barring injury, is a lock for that spot.
William says Miles Rouser.
Yeah,
I'm so interested to see
Yeah.
how they utilize
the
him this
safety-
season.
Yeah, just the safeties in general.
Yeah, I do. I think Xavion
X,
Alford is
yeah.
another one
Yeah.
that you can get there.
CJ Fight.
CJ Fight. Yeah. What about you, Eric?
A little Clayton Smith, maybe.
Little Clayton Smith. You're a big Clayton Smith guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to be, right?
You're also a big lizard guy.
No, see, I can't. That maybe is the red flag right there. He's the one that
You
has.
kind of look though like a
Oh,
kid that would own
Jesus
reptiles.
Christ.
No, he kind of looks like a reptile kid.
He doesn't look like a reptile kid. He looks like a bearded dragon kid.
No, I was thinking like no.
out
That's
of
way
all
too
the
cool.
stuff
of
that
a
you
pet.
guys have said about me, this might be the most.
He looks like
disrespectful.
dude backwards hat. This gives me big like I own a turtle.
I had
backwards hat.
I had
It's just all of it together.
I had two turtles when I was a kid.
Did you? What were
I
their
had
names?
Trident and Abby.
Mm.
My sister named the
I thought
girl.
What was your
those are
favorite?
very
What was your
different
favorite?
names.
Trident,
Because of the name?
and it was mine.
Oh.
Well, they were both mine. My sister got naming rights. I sold the naming rights to her. The naming rights to my
It
turtle.
was Allstate Abbey.
Yeah, Allstate.
Man.
Okay, no free ads.
I had two turtles and a snake.
Really?
That doesn't surprise me.
The snake, I just can't get on board with reptile.
I think they're
pets.
kind of cool, but I just would never.
Snakes?
Yeah, I would hold one.
Would you have one in your house with you?
Probably not.
No.
No.
Yeah.
You kind of would though.
I promise you, I wouldn't,
You're
bro.
big
that
reptile
would
energy, man.
freak me
Okay.
out.
Anyway.
Yeah, so the schedule. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's talk about the schedule for Arizona State. Starting, and again, when we talk about people picking Arizona State to finish dead last, right, in this Big 12 media preseason poll, it says a lot about how they feel Arizona State's schedule is going to go, right? So the Sun Devils start with Wyoming. You guys feel like that should be a win, correct?
I think it's going to
Yeah.
be a tougher game than maybe some people expect, but they should win.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, no, they just ended the long reign of their coach.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's a
He's
dictator.
a king.
Yeah. No, but yeah, yeah, you should win this game.
Mississippi State, probably an L, right?
I don't know anything about Mississippi State this year.
Well, I'm just going based off of SEC.
SEC. Well, let's see the SEC power rankings. Where are they, huh?
That's a great question. What do you think, Eric?
SEC power rankings has Vanderbilt is the only team to finish lower than Mississippi State at 247.
I mean, I guess you have a chance. I
But
don't know
that
if-
means nothing apparently.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would put money on them winning that game. I
Yeah.
think out of their first three, that's clearly the one that's going to be the biggest problem.
The FPI has Mississippi State at 3.5. So
Okay, let's assume they lose that. Let's
Okay,
assume
so
Arizona State
why are we
loses.
assuming that?
Because this is what everybody in the Big 12 is barely doing, Arizona State, assuming they'll lose that game.
ASU has a negative 0.3 FPI. Welcome to hell, Sun Devil fans. Anyway, Texas State.
That's a win.
Yeah, as long as
You lose to Texas State, I am climbing a mountain.
As long as Jayden Delore doesn't spawn.
If he doesn't spawn, even if he spawns, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not.
So that's
Honestly,
2-1.
If he's there, I'm less
That's
worried
2-1. That's 2-1.
It should be.
Hopefully.
Should be 2-1.
Barring any sandstorms.
We could see a 3-0. We could see an undefeated. In theory.
If they beat Mississippi State.
Also.
You could. Well, I don't see a 1-2. Where do you see a 1-2?
I didn't see ASU getting in a dogfight with Southern Miss.
When? Last year?
Yes.
Southern Utah.
Southern Utah.
Yeah.
Was it really a dog? Yeah.
Yes,
I guess.
it
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. You're
No,
right.
it
You're right.
was.
There were moments
It
where both
was.
of us were like,
But
they're
we-
losing this game.
We put that
100%.
on the Haboob. We put that 100%
No, it
on
was
the
even.
Haboob.
But no, it was even before the
the
Haboob.
game was close at halftime.
And
Yeah.
Bull snapped his leg. Right. That definitely
Yes.
played a role
Yeah.
in it. Poor
Why'd
guy.
you have to say it like that?
Because he did. He absolutely did. That's not just a break. That's a clean snap.
Okay.
Snap, crackle, pop.
At Texas Tech,
The Jalen Conyers game.
You're winning that game. I mean, Texas Tech is Bonds. We know that. I'm just hoping
We're
he's
talking
listening.
to you, Jalen.
I don't know. This is going to be their first real test on the road, obviously, because let's be real. Texas State is not a test on the road.
I mean,
Ew. Where is Texas State? Texas State is in a gross place too. It's almost as bad. It's in between San Antonio. It's in San Marcos, Texas. So you're going from San Marcos to Tempe to Lubbock.
I mean, listen, if they lose to Kansas or to Texas State, then they better beat Texas Tech, because you go and then you play Kansas and then you play Utah. That's a little bit of a gauntlet. Then you have a little break with Cincinnati, but that's a tough little stretch.
Let's say they go into conference play 2-1. Can we agree on that?
Sure,
Right?
that's entirely possible.
Then again, just to use the logic that Big 12 media is going with, they'll lose to Kansas, they'll lose to Utah, and they'll lose to Tech, right?
Okay, let's not say that the Big 12 media is going with. You think ASU is beating Kansas?
No. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I think they lose. I think they lose to Kansas, Utah. I think they have a chance against Tech for sure.
They definitely have a chance against Tech. The other two, but we also talked about this is the type of team that they'll probably play up to their competition, and this Kansas game and this Utah game may very well be like that Washington game where you're like, ASU really shouldn't win this game, and then you're coming down to it, and it's a one-score game.
Maybe.
For sure. I'm not
but again,
saying,
if we're predicting, then
I'm not
you
saying-
lean towards
this
no.
this is just without doing too much research into the exact matchups that you're going to have that week, like everything, like injuries, right? You should be Cincinnati. You'll probably end up going down to Oklahoma State on the road. Stillwater's going to be tough. Oklahoma State's supposed to be really good. UCF's a toss-up game for me. BYU's a toss-up game for me. Kansas State, you're not going to be favored in that game, and you're not going to be favored in the Arizona game.
So once they hit Big 12 play, the only games that were like, hey, those are winnable games. It's not going to be a massive uphill battle. Is Tech, UCF, and BYU.
No, Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati. Sorry. Well, yeah, Cincinnati. They should beat
So
Cincinnati.
that's 4.
4.
Plus the 2 wins that we think they get non-conference. That's a 6-win team.
It's a 6-win team.
Duke's Mayo Bowl!
That's what West Virginia won last year.
Oh, my God.
Did they really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Damn it, that means they have to win 9 games.
Oh, my God. Let's see. David in the chat. ASU is to the Big 12 as the Cardinals are to the NFC West, I assume you're trying to say. Is that accurate?
Well, when the NFC West was in its heyday, maybe. I don't know.
But when we're sitting here saying 6 wins, I'll settle for 6 wins.
I think 6 wins is very realistic.
6 wins does not have you dead last in this conference.
Oh, hell no.
Right?
Especially if you're beating a Cincinnati on the way there.
You sound like a very big loser right now.
How?
Let's settle for 6 wins.
How?
I'm good with 6
How?
wins.
No, again, based off of the logic that everybody in the Big 12 says we're finishing dead last.
I know, you just sounded really excited about 6 wins. That's why.
I think this team wins more. Like this could be a between 5 to 7 win team on paper.
Yeah, we've been saying that.
If they start 3-0, then they're going to have all the momentum in the world. And then if they beat Tech, I mean, even if you drop 2
I really
straight,
like the Mississippi State game at home. I love that.
It's a good test.
He's getting ready to bet on that right now.
It's a bad SEC team.
It's a really bad
on
SEC
the road.
team. But it's still an SEC. And what were you saying earlier? ASU is the only team in the Big 12 now that has never beaten an SEC team.
Did you guys know that? Everybody in the Big 12 currently, all 16 teams have beaten an SEC team except for ASU. Is that not insane?
That is nuts.
Like not even a Vanderbilt, not even a Commodore.
So you're saying they're due.
Yeah, very due.
They're very
but
due.
but what I was saying about it is like you're playing an SEC team and they're Mississippi State, so they're not the SEC, but they are in the
They're
SEC.
not the SEC.
So do you know how
So
many?
if you win that game,
They're renting.
we're
They're
three.
renting.
You could say ASU be like, oh yeah, ASU is 3-0 coming off an SEC opponent dub.
Yeah.
So they've played 5 SEC games. They're 0-5. They've played Georgia twice.
Okay,
They've played Louisiana State, LSU, once, Missouri once, and Texas A&M once, and they've lost all of those.
Those are all really good teams, though.
When did they play Georgia?
I'm trying to find the by year. I don't know. They
'Cause
played
Georgia-
one. They don't tell the way that this is all out.
Doesn't matter.
Sorry.
They still haven't done it. It's crazy.
Texas A&M. Texas
nuts.
A&M was 2015. Missouri was 2012. Georgia was 08 and 09, and then Louisiana State, LSU was 2005. So they haven't played an SEC team in almost a decade since
Well,
2015. Texas A&M.
There you go. They're due. They're absolutely due. Just like everybody at home is due to sign up with Desert Financial Credit Union. They're the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University, and they have been doing it for more than 84 years. Eric's been saying for a while now that we got to be getting close to 85 because
I think I saw a commercial on TV that said 85.
It's
I think
85
we can
now?
say 85.
look, they are and they have been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union for a reason. It's because they're dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make lives better. Senor Ruby over here, Professor Oates, he himself has used Desert Financial Credit Union since he was just a wee lad, since
Yes.
he first had coin to deposit into an account. And you guys too can look to Desert Financial for checking and savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and so much more. Now is the time to show your ASU team spirit. Open a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
Yeah. They beat
Yeah.
Missouri before they were in the SEC though. So that's why that doesn't count. Willow said that should count. Yeah. We'll count it. ASU beat an SEC team.
There you go.
Woo!
Yeah.
We counted it.
Yeah, who's the loser now?
Yeah. I'm not going to count how many beers I drink this week because I'm going to drink
For the whole
a lot
week?
responsibly.
For the whole week.
It's
Yeah.
your birthday week, man.
Yeah, my birthday week.
You want to
4
go to?
Peaks.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to go to 4 Peaks for your birthday.
Some tendies, juicy Bad Birdie Ale. Nothing better than our friends over at 4 Peaks. Visit portpeaks.com/locator to find out where you can celebrate my birthday this week. My birthday is not on their events page, unfortunately. I'm working on that. But you can check out at 4 Peaks Brew and at 4 Peaks Pub to keep with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. As I've said, they've got so many good stuff. So many good beers. My favorite beer is the hazy IPA. Just down those. It's the lightest IPA I've ever drinking. They're fantastic, but you got to be 21 years or older to drink 4 Peaks, and please drink responsibly. So I'm very excited for tomorrow because I turn 21 tomorrow and I can finally drink 4 Peaks.
I'm so excited for you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have a power hour.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right now.
starts now.
Yep.
Grab me a peach ale, baby. Grab me a peach ale.
I'll take a wow wheat.
Here for it.
All right, which game of the ones where Arizona State is just clearly not the favorite? So we can call that Utah, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Arizona. Which one of those, I guess maybe take Arizona out of it because a rivalry game, is ASU most likely to pull out of
You're saying
upset?
out of Utah?
Kansas State, Oklahoma State. Out of those 4 games,
Okay, so
which one is ASU most
only
likely
2 of those are at home, and they are both 2 juggernauts.
I would say Oklahoma State, simply because they've seen them the last 2 seasons.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Like
I think
and
Oklahoma
Kenny
State's
got
a
them
good
last
call.
year, right? So
Yeah, I think Oklahoma State's a good call.
I could also see Kansas though, depending on where Jalen Daniels is at in the season,
Yeah.
health wise. So that's my 2 cents on it. What do you think, Shane?
Oklahoma State opens up as 9.5 point favorites in that game, is what I'm going to say.
They're also
after the Cincinnati game.
ASU's going to come off a
ASU
bye.
wins?
So
Oh.
ASU has Cincinnati
You're
and then a bye.
so right,
and
Rubis.
then Oklahoma State.
Rubis. They also have a bye before, I believe, the Utah game. They've
no.
got 2 favorable buys.
No, they don't.
Is it
They don't.
before
They-
Tech?
they
Is it before
can't-
Tech?
Kansas is on the 5th and Utah is on the 11th.
So when is their first bye? Is it before Tech? Because I know they've got 2 favorable bye weeks. Doing the math. He's doing the math here.
Wait.
Well, they have a weird Texas State, Texas Tech bye where it's 9 days in between the
Yeah.
two because you're playing on a weird date.
Yeah, but I don't think that's yeah.
Oh, wait. No, yeah. Between Texas Tech and Kansas, you have a bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I was right.
You're
Yeah.
a beast, dude.
Really, really good job, man.
You're a beast.
Dude, screw you guys. Okay. Before we get out of here, can we throw up the preseason poll just one more time? I would like you guys to tell me which of those teams, the highest of those teams, is going to finish the lowest on this list. Who's going to be the biggest disappointment?
West
in this
Virginia.
conference?
It's hard not to say West Virginia.
That
I mean,
or-
Texas Tech just sucks. So I'm kidding.
That's
I'm kidding.
crazy.
I'm kidding. Probably West Virginia. I don't know. Maybe in Iowa State if Rocco doesn't take another step forward.
Dude, his name's Rocco.
It's
He
hard
only
to
takes
imagine he
step
doesn't.
forward.
I thought
I
you
mean-
hated Rocco.
No, I love
The
Rocco.
Rock?
The Rock.
The
Rocco.
Elmo thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I love this Rocco, though. This is a dope dude. This
I
guy
mean-
owns Ames.
Not to be like a hater, but like U of A, new
No.
coach.
You know, maybe.
Not this year.
I don't know.
I think next year
we'll see what BB can do.
So
as a head coach.
I think West Virginia then might be the consensus pick.
West Virginia's consensus disappointment. The Mountaineers.
Frontrunner
the Pharaoh
loves
people.
loves him some UCF and BYU. I just don't see it with BYU. I can be talked into maybe some UCF.
Yeah,
ball.
you give me a couple wow weeks. I could sit there and listen to a conversation about UCF.
Yeah,
But not BYU.
Yeah, you're gonna need to give me some stronger stuff. If you want to talk to me about BYU?
Yeah, like what?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Something crazy.
Yeah, maybe just a whole 12 pack.
Yeah. Not even then. I'd be like, shut up.
Like, why are we talking about BYU right
Yeah.
now?
You can't
Oh my
even
god!
try.
Hey, Trayson Bourget.
That's where he transferred?
Yeah, he's at BYU.
Is he actually?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Unless I'm just totally lying right
Not
now.
my Western Michigan sweet boy.
Let's see, Trayson Bourget. Wow, that's an old photo.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's listed. No, he's still listed on the Western. Oh yeah, BYU. Trayson Bourget.
Really?
Yeah, there he is, right there. He's a BYU Coug.
Wow.
BYU is winning the conference.
Stop it right now.
I bet on him so much. I'm so disgusted to say that.
Did he?
Western
Did he
Michigan.
do you well?
No, I just bet on Western Michigan to get him out this year.
Did he not play last year?
I am so excited to
Guys-
bet on MAC football.
I'm so excited for just college football. We're like 60 days away now.
We're like 2 days away, or 2 weeks away from the early release of the game.
Are you guys pumped?
Oh
Or
yeah.
3 weeks.
guys ready?
2 weeks. Yeah. 3 weeks.
What's the opening line in all of our individual
3 weeks.
games?
Oh, I'm favored by double digits in both.
Really?
Yeah.
At least I'm football video games are not my forte. Basketball video games are my forte. So I will probably get whooped up real good. But I have
I
spunk.
will probably get
I have
whooped
heart.
up real good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably 38.5 point favorites over Eric and 13 over Totri.
Okay.
That's fair, right?
Yeah, I'd say 12 and a half.
Yeah.
12 and a half for sure. I think we're both big favorites over Eric. Are we the best two, you think, in the office? I'm trying to think
Damon?
of who else we had. Well, we did Damon
Flex claims to be very good at
We haven't-
like Madden.
We haven't seen Damon before.
I'll
so-
give Flex to work in Madden whenever he wants, and then if that's a contest, then he can play Shane. Because Shane is
the Supreme Overlord.
when it comes to Madden, he was
I love games. As I told everybody, my favorite two things in life are games and
sweet
treats.
Yeah, no, he doesn't lie. He doesn't
I
lie.
am a baby.
All I ask is that when y'all whoop my ass in this football game,
Yeah, when we whoop
just
you.
play me in 2K, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, you're that guy.
Oh yeah.
You're like, let me play this game. Let me play this game.
No,
man."
I'll take my lumps, but I just ask for it to be fair.
Okay, I mean, we can't. Again,
And I just get my ass kicked in 2K.
I
I
don't-
just can never show my face again.
I don't discriminate.
yeah.
I play a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah.
Still in mom's basement playing.
Got
no,
us.
I'm actually upstairs in my parents' house. Thank you very much, Brian.
Oh gosh,
Brian said something earlier that I wanted to point out. What did he say? Can you scroll up, Danielle? IPAs are horrible. You're horrible, Brian.
That's
I'm just
just-
kidding. I
that's
love you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hit that like button.
Hit the
Brian.
like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Give us a follow at
IPAs
PHNX
aren't for everybody.
_ Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _ Totri. You can follow Professor Oates over here at Eric.
I don't
Ruby.
really like it.
That is,
I don't
you don't
like
like it
Professor
either?
Oates
Okay,
either.
well, before we leave, we
I
gotta
was
come up with
just
something.
making the joke about.
What are a
Professor-
bunch of surnames that we
Professor
could have
Oak?
for him? No, I
Um,
get that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I mean, it can still be. I think Professor's very good for Eric.
But a different food?
Professor Rubles.
Hmm?
Professor Pebbles.
I don't like that one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys.
Sausage Boy?
What?
I'm just giving him a breakfast food.
You can follow.
Yeah.
You
Go
can follow
rest in
man.
peace.
Yeah, you can follow Rubes and on Twitter at Erik Ruby.
Just
That's
call me
Erik with a
Professor.
K. Did you already do Danielle's app?
No, you can follow Danielle at Abracadabra across social media.
You can follow me on Twitter and everywhere else at Shane Deef. Just trying to control these two as always. But until tomorrow, peace and go Devils.
We all silly like the mayor.